Call Sam Studios. I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 971theticket.com.
The following is a paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Good morning. Welcome to Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm your host, Harvey Freed. We've got a panel this morning. Harry Glanz and Alex Dambusi with Capital Mortgage and Dan Dubinsky with Skyward Realty. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, guys.
Good morning, guys. What's happening? We start out with a little Jimi Hendrix this morning. I like that.
9:01 here. If you're just
Sweet.
getting up or if you're hustling to get to work this morning and a little clouds, maybe some rain, but not a bad weekend plan today. Or to start off the weekend today, of course. Maybe rain later in the afternoon. Not such a bad thing. 248-539-9797. We are going to take your calls about mortgages all day long here in the studio. And, of course, at the office at Capital Mortgage, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. I know Tim Moore, Ron Jacobs, they're all calling me over there and saying, Harvey, we've got people here to help. So if anyone's out there trying to make an offer on a house or really wants to get started on the process of home ownership, definitely give Capital Mortgage a call today. And good morning to you guys.
So it's pretty cool that we have Dan Dubinsky, Double D, on the show today. I got my glasses. I guess I got to read some stuff today, bro. Wait, I just want to let everybody know they're reading glasses, and it's early in the morning. I don't wear glasses. So stop it.
As the day progresses, you don't need them?
Yeah, as the day of my age progresses.
Hi, Harry's dad.
I think they look nice, Harry.
So thank you. I appreciate that. So anyway, so we have Double D on the show today, and it's just a great time because I think if you guys remember, there are two things about last week's show that will always stick out in our mind. Number one, we talked about Harvey's Garden. And then up on our Facebook page,
Five types of tomatoes.
Yeah, if you go to the Hardcore Mortgage Facebook page, I think there's a picture of Harvey's Garden on there. I'm still disputing the 5 different kinds, even though they labeled it, but I don't believe that. And number two is last week, Double D, we proclaimed that we think that right now in our area, that's up and down the Woodward Corridor, okay, Macomb, Oakland, Washtenaw, Livingston counties, right, that we have kind of caught up in terms of product on the market with buyers out there now consummating transactions.
I believe the level of supply is there's more now. We're not seeing the competition as much. It's leveled out a little bit, without a doubt.
And I can tell. Hold on, sorry, go ahead.
So I think that we're almost ready to make a proclamation that things have caught up, and I'm not ready to do it today yet.
They haven't caught up though, because here's why. Because I feel like every person in the world now has said, well, my neighbor sold their house for X, and they get some schleprock realtor that says, well, we'll just throw it on the market for $350, even though it's only worth $290. We'll just see if someone makes an offer on it. So, and like, I mean, Dan, like, when you start looking for houses, you know, Dan or Josh or whomever from Skyward, you know, you get these emails that say like these houses are fitting in, you know, in the area that you're looking to buy. It went from getting like 10 a week to, I mean, there's got to be 50 houses on the market now. But dude, I'm not paying. Listen, I'm not the most frugal guy in the world, but listen, man, I am not paying $500,000 for a 2,000 square foot house. It's not going to happen.
What we call them is saleable listings. Meaning they actually have a chance to sell, but you're 100% correct. People just throw them up there thinking they're going to get a lot more, and they're not in a condition to sell right now either.
So, Alex and Dan, to your point specifically, Alex, so you've been saying that now for the last 3 or 4 weeks on the show, which I don't disagree with. As a matter of fact, I agree with it. And to support what you're talking about, I believe what we're going to find out in the few weeks, in the upcoming weeks, okay, that you're going to see those listings come off the market, right? And then you're going to find out who the real sellers are. And then what could happen is that you could see prices start to do what?
You could see them start to go down.
Decline.
Correct.
Right.
Well, okay, so that's to your point.
They have to go down.
So I'm not ready to declare that right this second until the summer ends and we see what happens with those listings. And Dan, you'll be here to tell us that you're going to see listings decline and real sellers on the market because guess what? You might not be able to get those outrageous prices.
God forbid rates go, at least for the sake of BS, rates go from 4.5 to 5.5. You're going to see a huge decline because you're going to lose buying power.
If you remember last year at this time, we had the same thing going on. It was actually deeper in. We had multiple offers going in through probably September, October. Then it slowed down a little bit, and it started up again in the spring. And what we're seeing now is, I don't care if you're on the listing side or the selling side, you need to know the motivation of the seller.
I like that.
That is very, very important. Why are they? You have a chance to negotiate with them if they have to move. If they don't, they don't have to go anywhere. They're not going to be much willing to negotiate.
And they're finding out, too, that they might not be able to qualify for a mortgage out there. There's a lot of reasons why we saw more listings pop up. And you're the professional real estate agent. You definitely see them in the last 30 days. Harry, this is what we talked about last week. We saw more listings on the market. So, I don't know, were they fixing up their houses in April, May, and June? Now they've got them prepped up and ready to hit the market. Folks, you're running out of time. If you're considering selling your house, we know that a lot of families want to get their kids into those school districts. So it's not for everybody, but there are a lot of families, again, more so for the older kids. They're not going to be moving high schools.
Well, let's make it clear.
Get it closed.
Let's make it clear. It's still a great time to buy a house. Rates are extremely low, historically low. It's a great time to do it. Get your kids in a great school district, move, make your lifestyle change. But Dan, you hit the nail on the head. You said the key word is negotiation. Well, what's the best negotiating tactic? Know the history of the property and of the buyer,
or the motivation.
I'm sorry, of the seller. Yeah. That's the motivation. That is key to a negotiation.
When I call up the other agent, I ask them a series of questions, and that is the number one question: Why are they moving? Where are they going? Have they bought a house yet?
Well, that's the thing. Where are you going to go?
Yeah. And a lot of people, if they haven't bought a house yet, or there's a job transfer, we know job transfers are negotiable, right? But what I may even say that is a better time to buy a house now, Harry, because there's not the competition. You don't feel, so many people will go out and they'd put multiple offers and they'd lose. They got dejected.
Do you feel like the competition is less?
Yes.
A little bit?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to go along with that conversation, I had a conversation with one of our legal staff, and he's looking to buy a house. So we talked about that extensively, talking about people that are in the market, have looked at 10, 20, 30 homes, and they've come to the conclusion with a lot of, experts on their team. We talk about building a team with their realtor, with their mortgage professional, that they've come to the conclusion that maybe right this second they're going to stay on the sidelines for a month, 45 days, and see what happens.
Yeah.
They're in no hurry.
Yeah, but stay on the sidelines. I mean, in today's, with the internet and everything, you basically can look at the properties with the photos and stuff. You have an idea if the house is something you want to go look at. I mean, Alex is a perfect case. We've been working with him for some time now.
Right.
And it's not that.
But you can't tell me, and I'll bet you this, Dan, you can't tell me that Alex and his wife aren't driving by those houses.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Without a doubt they are. And I believe that Alex knows what he wants. It's just hasn't been out there yet or hasn't worked for him.
248-539-9797. We're going to take all your calls if you're out there looking for a house. We got some maybe additional advice, some professional opinions we can give you on maybe some things that you need to figure out, like the motivation of the seller, what's going on. The more information and knowledge you have into any transaction, the more comfortable you're going to feel moving forward, the more confident, and more importantly, you'll probably set yourself up for a little bit better success. Again, you have to be able to react quickly in today's marketplace.
Harry mentioned building a team, and one of the things that I really do is, it's tough for me as a mortgage professional to let go of those reins and just say, to Dan and Josh, like, dude, is this a good deal? Is it not a good deal? I mean, I think I know what I want, but I've used that example 1,000 times. There's one house that Stacey and I really dug, and we really liked it. And Dan and Josh were like, dude, you cannot. This is not the house for you.
Yeah, I think the home had 4 additions, 3 different kind of heat sources.
Yeah, we brought that one up.
Yeah.
but those are things that I like as like a numbers guy and a mortgage guy. I don't look at that stuff. I look at the location.
Right.
Like, oh, the house looks nice. My wife likes it. Cool, let's buy it.
Yeah, but I think there's a saying. It's called a person's greatest strength can also be their greatest weakness. So Alex, you're turning into a client now.
I am.
Okay,
I have to let go and become a client, or else you're going to fail.
Well, one of your greatest strengths is that you like to know everything about everything. You get in deep with your clients. You like to know their background.
Sure.
You build a relationship. You're delving in deep into their the personal aspects of their life in terms of their finance and everything like that.
Right.
So now you become a client, and now you're all over Dan and Josh about, let's do this and let's do that.
I am.
He's going to be the worst client.
I've become a complete client.
So you've turned into a client. So now what you have to do is now you have to start taking your own advice.
As soon as I text Dan.
Let them do the real estate part, and then you just do what you do.
I'll text Dan something to reply back. Are you serious? Like,
are you turning into a client on me?
Who are you all of a sudden?
Well, it comes down to taking time as a professional with your buyer. A lot of people come in and they say, this is what I want, and they will spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I'll tell them that doesn't exist. I mean,
Right,
what you want doesn't exist. It's not there. And I'm not saying that's you, Alex, but a lot of people just want something that doesn't.
Hey, bro, those are the same guys who went after the Playboy when he was in high school. So,
Alex, you mentioned a great
exist.
point about the marketplace. Again, if interest rates tick up a little bit, you'll probably see some buying power. You're going to lose some buying power. So again, it sort of corresponds with if the prices are up now, but the rates are low, that's a great opportunity. What will happen 2 months from now, 3 months from now, even into 2015, as prices start to maybe come down or just even stay the same? You won't see that tremendous amount of appreciation. But again, the rates could bump up a little bit.
Remember, we're talking in general, too, but there's certainly pockets that are super hot. And then
I'd like to get into that, too.
All right, we're just heating up here. We've got a lot of calls to take. 248-539-9797. Back with all your calls.
97.1 The Ticket.
Hi, Harry Glanz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, and they're not going down to zero. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. If you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Capital Mortgage Funding is a proud division of United Shore Financial Services and MLS number 3038 Equal Housing Lender. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE.
Everyone loves water in the summer, unless it's coming from your compressed air system, causing downtime, quality issues, and equipment wear. Call Air Center so this doesn't happen to you. Air Center will make sure your shop runs smoothly through the hot, humid summer months. Whether you need to increase productivity by making more parts or ensure the quality of your paint, count on Air Center. Eliminate water in your airlines today. Guaranteed. Call 800-AIR-2959 or visit teamaircenter.com. Air Center. For air that's always there.
Now is the time to try America's newest network. Why? Because at Sprint, when we say America's newest network, we mean a brand new network. We started from the ground up and built an all-new network that now delivers faster speeds and better call quality. And with the Sprint Unlimited Family Plan, you can get unlimited data, talk, and text for as low as $45 a month per line while on the Sprint network. And the best part is, you can try Sprint for 30 days. Satisfaction guaranteed. If you're not happy, you get your money back. So what are you waiting for? With a new network and a satisfaction guarantee, there's never been a better time to switch. Visit a Sprint store or sprint.com/network to learn more. Happy connecting from Sprint.
Offering coverage not available everywhere or for discounted phones. Excludes taxes, surcharges, subject to $36 activation fee, credit and deposit per line. Plan discount $5 to $30 depending on number and group, plus $20 unlimited data buy-up. New lines only. Excludes usage not included in plan, premium content, third-party billing, and international charges. Comparison to prior Sprint network, prohibited network use rules, prioritization, rate limiting, and restrictions apply. See Sprint.com for details.
If you're 40 or so and can't read the menu or see the numbers on your phone and misplacing those reading glasses is driving you crazy, please listen. I'm Eli Zaret, and Dr. Yaldo solved my reading issues for life. He is the first in Michigan to perform the newest, most advanced LASIK procedure that frees you to even read the fine print like you did as a kid. Call the Aldo Eye Center at 1-800-398-EYES and toss all those annoying readers in the trash. That's 1-800-398-EYES.
The Battery, modern day fire, powering everything from remote control cars to the car in your garage. So when your car battery is reaching the end of the line, or you're wondering whether it is, stop by Advance Auto Parts. We'll test your old one for you, free of charge. And if you purchase a new Autocraft battery, we'll install it for free. Only if you'd like us to, of course. Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back to the garage.
Most vehicles, most locations. See store for details.
I'm Jeff Lesson. It is our 18th season here on Lesson on Golf with the best place to play at lessonongolf.com. Also, follow me on Twitter at Jeff Lesson. You could win a dozen Titleist Pro V1 golf balls. Lesson on Golf, Saturdays and Sundays, 7 a.m., 97.1 The Ticket.
Your sports stimulus package.
97.1 The Ticket.
Alrighty, welcome back to the show. We broadcast till 10 o'clock. It's a Hardcore Mortgage Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Give us a call all day long in Capital. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. That's 1-800-569-7283. Always here in the studio. 248-539-9797. Love your calls. And we brought in Dan Dubinsky from Skyward Realty, which is fun. Dan, Dan, you are, look, I'm going to officially say you coined the phrase pocket listing. I had never heard it before. It was about a year and a half ago.
Oh, my God.
No, he was when he started. It was
been around forever.
Tell
him, Dan.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, tell him, Dan.
Well, you brought it back to life. How's that?
Okay.
I'll tell you what, the
guy.
The market brought it back to place. So,
Right.
And what that means, obviously, is you have a one-side listing. You bring the buyer, and it's essentially supposed to save the seller some money on the commission, right?
Or make the real estate agent more money.
Well,
either way, it's okay.
It could be both, right?
Yeah.
And I'm still surprised this day. People still come in my office, and I have to remind my agents that people don't know how we work. They always ask. I had someone come and ask me, "So how much do I owe you for helping you find a house?" I need to tell them, "Well, it's beautiful. You don't owe me a thing. The seller pays the commission." But it still surprises me that people don't understand
That's a great
that
point.
stuff. Yeah, but you don't see packet listings as much anymore. What people will do to try to sell homes themselves, realtors will say no showings for a couple weeks, right? They'll put it on the market, and then they'll put a sign.
Why do they? What's the mindset behind that?
Well, the mindset behind that is that you bring your own buyer, and then you get both sides of the commission. And some agents will make deals where if they bring the buyer, they'll cut them a deal, not pay the full commission.
We don't like anything funky, so we're from the old school that, hey, look, sell a house as fast as possible. Get it out there. Get as many people bidding after it. And you know what, Mr. or Mrs. Realtor? Then go sell another house.
Exactly.
Go get another listing and move on. Stop worrying about that one.
I believe it's all about the people in the transaction.
Sure.
And that's why when you have experienced people in a transaction, Dan, you've been doing this for a lot of years. Mm-hmm. All of us in this room have a lot of experience. And it's a pleasure going to a closing like, we experience, and we do closings, a lot of closings every single day. And yesterday, just to bring this up, I'm glad you guys touched on this. I was in a closing. It was a person that was buying a home. She'd been working with us and a realtor for a very long time, and a lovely client. We should all have clients like this. Perfect client. All her ducks in a row. The documentation's there. Anytime you need something, she'd either send it over, fax it over, run it over to the office. She was just extremely easy to get along with. And then you go to the closing, and you run into some realtors that are extremely experienced that you didn't hear from other than sending you maybe title work or ask when the closing date's going to be, and that's it. You can tell when you're working with professionals.
Which is good, though.
Good, though. It's phenomenal. It's the best. All right, so you're in a room, and you have the title person who's been in the business for a long time. You have the greatest buyer you could ever have as your client, right? And then you have two realtors that have been in the business for a very, very long time that are just there because, and by the way, it's not about them. It's about the buyer. It's about the transaction. And you sit there and you talk about everything.
About hockey or golf.
Well,
yeah.
And it turns out that one of the realtors, and the realtors, Donna from Cranbrook, who's the associate broker, and Aaron, who's been in the business for a long time, whose family's been in the business, it turns out that her husband's a coach. So what does that mean to me when I'm sitting in a closing?
You guys are best friends.
So it means we're best friends now. Exactly.
248-539-9797. You want to join the show?
Right.
I think.
So when you go in there and you have all these experienced people, it's just the greatest transaction you can possibly
You and I
have.
were joking the other day. There's that commercial for cell phones, and it's the realtors, and they've got those stupid green jackets on, and then the
Let's close.
Let's close. Like, dude, that's not how it goes.
It's
that's
so
not how it's
easy.
supposed to be. It doesn't work like that.
It should be like that every time.
Well, going back to what you said, I get a warm, cozy feeling on the listing ticket, and I know we're putting an offer in. They show you the ID number of the agent.
That's right. You look at the number.
If their number's a 19 or a 2 something, and I know they've been in the business for a while.
Hey, bro, I'm a 234-597.
I'm a 270-356. So hey, we're right there. But it's true. It's 100% true. And the problem is, some of these agents, the newer ones, don't realize we're working together to get a deal done. We're not adversaries. We're here to make something happen, a transaction.
That's why I love Dan
a
Dubinsky.
win-win.
Well, that was the first thing that Dan and I hit off together. I said, dude, it's like nowadays, and I think it was in 2006 or 7, you and I started doing a lot of business together. I said, guys, it's not like the 97 Red Wings versus Avalanche, Realtors versus Mortgage. It's not, there's no rivalry. But the mortgage industry right now, it's too complicated for everybody not to be on the same page. And Harry, and I never get complaints. I never have to get Harry involved in anything.
Well, okay.
We had that
Sure.
Occasionally. We had that lady the other day that was holding a document hostage over a $200 check that the other agent owed her on some other deal. I'm like, listen, this has nothing to do with our buyer. You're jamming up the entire deal.
Right.
She's like, I want to talk to your boss. I'm like,
okay,
we know that one.
Would you like Harry's home phone number? Here,
we talked about it.
To talk to you.
It's not like the olden days. There's a lot of moving parts and so many transactions. mentioned, again, there's so many different things, and we do need the help of professional people involved. Again, there's title company involved, 2 different real estate agents, 2 different families, a mortgage bank involved in there. There's just so much going on that it's just about communication, keeping people aware of what's going on, and telling them who's responsible to get what information over here. There's just a lot going on in a mortgage, whether it be a purchase or a refinance, which leads us to all those families out there, 248-539-9797. There is a tremendous amount of families out there that entered into land contracts. They're starting to come out of the woodwork. This is your hello call to give us a call at Capital Mortgage or here on the show. Definitely get your ducks in a row. I've been taking care of a lot of these land contract conversions. Again, many families suffered some problems in 2000.
For you?
It's still working out. Again, right. So there are some good and bad things going on out there. Again, the good thing is that families entered into purchase agreements and got these land contracts, and now they're getting ready. It's 3 or 4 years later. They're out of that foreclosure stage. They're out of that bankruptcy stage. They're able to get a mortgage on their own. They've got to get their ducks in a row. I'm urging anyone out there who currently has a land contract, definitely give us a call here on the show, 248-539-9797. Why? You got to get organized to get that mortgage. And there's a lot going on. I just ran into someone recently, wasn't even on title on the land contract, and they're trying to obtain the mortgage. So a lot of different things going on that we can help you with now to make it a little bit smoother.
A lot of those people now are going to have equity in their homes.
Oh, it's tremendous. It's unbelievable. And again, they can do 85% cash out FHA. You can pay off the land contract and pay off your debt up to 85% of the appraised value. And Dan, it's a great point. Families that weren't scared and got right back into it. Again, some did it in the wrong way. They overpaid for the house. There's no appreciation there. But as you mentioned, Dan, if you bought a house probably 2009, 10, 11, and 12, you've probably got a tremendous amount of equity built in. That's an awesome thing. Hey, let's go out to Cameron out there. We got some calls coming in. 248-539-9797. And we've got you coming in from Davidson. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, guys. How's it going today?
Good. What's up,
Morning, Cam.
Hey, wife and I are just in kind of preliminary talks. We've talked for the last couple of months about possibly buying a piece of property or buying an existing house on a little bit of land. I own my home, have for 10 years. So I'm guessing I've got some decent equity into it. I remodeled it when I first bought it. And with that thought of buying property or land, like I said, should we go ahead and just do paperwork to get pre-financed for all this? Or is it something once we get a little more,
I would.
locked down or what?
I would. I don't think you can ever get pre-approved or approved too early for anything. I mean, anything can change along the way, but I think that, the more information we can obtain up front is going to put you in a better position to be a stronger buyer. I mean, there could be anything. There could be something on your credit report that's an error. It'll give me time to fix it for you. I mean, what's your time frame? You're looking like 6 months, a year? What are you thinking?
I don't know, maybe a year.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. I don't think you can ever do it too soon. I mean, it allows me to put a strong file together, and when you do go to make that offer, we can tell the listing agent that Cameron's approved. He's been underwritten. All we need is the appraisal and title work, and it's going to make your offer that much stronger.
Yeah, because the only other thing I was going to say is because neither one of us have any debt. The only thing we have is obviously just the house payment.
Right.
And we were talking about buying a new vehicle here this late fall. So I figured it'd probably help to get pre-financed before we, put that other amount of debt onto whatever we have.
I agree 100%. Cameron, I'll call you for the show, get it taken care of for you.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for the call, Cam.
That's a great call because the more time that we have to do our homework, the better off it is. Because like you said, Alex, things can change. So the more time we can get our ducks in a row for Cameron or anybody, that's perfect for us.
I have a client right now who's actually building a house in Royal Oak, and I said, listen, dude, I know it's not going to be done until November, but let's get it rocking and rolling now. And it turns out that his ex-wife had refinanced, and there was an error. The loan was paid off.
Yeah.
But the mortgage company marked her late 3 times consecutively, which makes obviously him ineligible if he was on that mortgage also. I mean, it was an error, but by applying early, it gave me time to fix it, get it taken care of, and now it's not going to be a huge hassle at the end to try to get this jammed through.
Great point. 248-539-9797. We've got Chad calling in from Belleville. Good morning, Chad. You're live on the ticket.
Hello, sir. How you doing?
What's up, man?
Morning, Chad.
Hey, listen, I'm in my 4th year of my land contract. I'm actually I've got a 5-year land contract before it balloons out, and I've got a 2% interest, which is amazing. I know the interest rates aren't that low, but I was wondering what are the interest rates currently, and what's the chances of being able to refi out of that with a bankruptcy and
a foreclosure.
Better than 7 years out.
Your chances are good if you reestablish credit, but I mean, you're going to be nowhere near 2%. Who give you a land contract at 2%?
What's the term of the land contract? How long do you have it for?
It's for 5 years total.
Okay, and you're how many years into it?
Next year would be my last year.
All right, well.
I mean, Chad, you can do it. You can do it FHA. I mean, you can actually even if you get what's called an approved eligible, you can even do it conventional. But I mean, there's a lot of action on that, man. I mean, what's your credit look like now?
Oh, I believe I'm like at 660, 670s.
Yes, I mean, it's probably going to be an FHA mortgage.
And what's the balance on the land contract?
The balance is like 64, I believe.
Yeah,
I believe the house should be about $100,000.
You're looking in the low fours, on a 30-year fix for FHA.
Okay.
Is your plan to stay in the house for a long time?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yep.
well, then you're going to have to do something for sure.
No, Chad, you're a great call this morning. We'll follow up with you and see if we can help you move forward and get that land contract out. 2% is tough to beat. That's probably between you and a family member. But
sounds good.
Hey, we'll definitely get them hooked up the right way. And you too, the listener, 248-539-9797. We've got some open lines. Come on back and join us.
We have all been to quite a few fundraisers over the years, right? They are usually for a good cause. In many cases, it's because someone unfortunately has died or is very sick. Having affordable life insurance so your family is protected is a must. Hi, Mike Prepura here at National Benefit Plans. We shop from over 70 different carriers across the country, making sure you get the best possible rate. Remember that we are only a doctor's visit from being uninsurable. Call now at 877-734-2200 or on the web at nbphealth.com. And remember, National Benefit Plans would like to be your health and life insurance agency for a lifetime.
Hey, baseball fans, Mike Valena here. If you have tickets to an upcoming Tigers game, stop by Gate A and show your D Las Vegas Players card to the 97-1 The Ticket Chicks, and we'll give you a limited edition T-shirt. If you don't have a D Las Vegas Players card, then you have another reason to stop by the D the next time you're in Vegas.
97.1 The Ticket is proud to welcome Capital Mortgage Funding as partner in the Student Heart Check Program. They'll donate a portion of every mortgage closed to the Student Heart Check Program. Call 1-800-LOW-RATE, NMLS number 3038, Equal Housing Lender.
It's always so busy this time of year. How about giving yourself a little me time at your neighborhood Bo-Rick Salon and get the cut and style you want at a great price? Right now, for a limited time, you can buy 4 haircuts for just $10 each. That's right. When you buy a prepaid haircut card from Bo-Rick's, you'll get 4 quality cuts for just $10 each. The 4 for $40 deal going on now at participating Bo-Rick salons. End your summer in style by coming into Bo-Rick's today and buy a 4 for $40 prepaid haircut card while supplies last.
How many text messages do you send in a day? 2? 10? 20? Well, how about sending just one more? It may save a life. Text SCREAM to 50555 and donate $10 to 97.1 The Ticket's Student Heart Check Program. Your donation will pay for one young person to have a Beaumont cardiac screening to make sure their heart is healthy enough for sports. Text SCREAM to 50555 and help save a life. Charge will appear on your wireless bill or be deducted from your prepaid balance. Charge must be authorized by account holder. Message and data rates apply.
Imagine a world where pocket protectors are considered cool.
Talk about your chick magnets.
Where women admire brains over brawn.
That's the most romantic thing anyone's ever said to me that I didn't understand.
Where The Big Bang Theory is on 5 nights a week.
Bazinga!
And that's pretty damn cool. The Big Bang Theory, 5 nights a week.
Watch weeknights at 7 and 10 on CW50.
What if I said that 5 minutes from now, you'll never have to go to a pharmacy again? That in 5 minutes, you'll never have to stand in line, never have to wait around while your prescriptions are filled, and never have to make those repeat visits. Sound good? Then listen up, because I'm here to tell you about PillPack, the first nationwide pharmacy that takes care of everything to save you time and hassle. PillPack delivers your medications, vitamins, and supplements to your door, pre-sorted by day and time, and clearly labeled in pre-sealed packs. You'll never have to sort a pill box again. Your prescriptions will arrive every 2 weeks with an on-time guarantee. There are no hidden charges and shipping is absolutely free. You pay your co-pays and PillPack takes care of the rest. Switch to the hassle-free way of managing prescriptions. For free information, call PillPack.com, 1-800-300-0973. In 5 minutes, you'll never need to go to a pharmacy again. 1-800-300-0973. That's free information at PillPack.com, 1-800-300-0973.
With Advance Auto Parts, you can order your parts online and pick them up in store in just 30 minutes. So you can get back to the garage doing what you love. Order online at AdvanceAutoParts.com.
Sports news all day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Meyer. Tigers Rockies tonight, Comerica Park. First pitch 7:08 right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Rick Porcello 12-5, trying to make it 2 straight for the Tigers over the Rockies. They doubled them up yesterday 4-2. Justin Verlander gets his 10th win, going 8 solid, allowing 2 runs, 8 hits. He struck out 5. Indiana Pacers star Paul George suffers a horrific leg fracture yesterday at USA basketball scrimmage. He will miss the entire season. Michigan State has 6 players ranked in the ESPN Top 100 College Football Player Poll, more than any other Big Ten team. Ohio State has 4, Michigan with 2. At the Bridgestone Invitational, Sergio Garcia on the course. He's the leader at 11 under par, playing an early round 3 today. Tiger Woods through 8 holes, still hitting the ball all over the course, missing almost every fairway with his driver. He's at level par through 8 holes. From the 1-800-CALL SAM studios, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 971theticket.com.
The football team that Detroiters love most. The Detroit Lions live here.
10 o'clock, it's the Hardcore Morning Show. There we are.
In Tiger's defense, we've all missed every fairway before.
Hey, some of us still do.
Sorry, a little cut off there, but we are back till 10 o'clock. The Hardcore Mortgage Show, again, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Also, we have an email address, and you can email us anytime, mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. Be sure to send us all your emails. We respond to everything. We got some great people in the office all weekend long. If you need that approval letter, again, it's all about the knowledge, whether you're a first-time home buyer, second or third time. You got to be eager to jump into this home ownership things, but realize and make sure that you got all your correct this time around. Again, a lot of families made mistakes last time, walked away from homes. Be approved first. Understand what you're going to negotiate with. Dan, you work with clients all the time. Dan Dubinsky from Skyward Realty. Understand all different scenarios. I mean, really, that's what it's come down to, is understand what you're willing to pay for the house, understand the marketplace, how much money you're working with in case there's a bidding war going on. You got to understand all these different scenarios.
Certainly, you got to be informed, and that's why prior to doing anything, we always contact the mortgage companies to make sure how we're going to structure the deal. In the past couple months, we were coming up against multiple offers. You had to figure out a way to make your offer shine, and in some cases, it's not all about the dollars and cents. It's about some of the terms. Do the people want to stay in there a little bit longer? Do they? What are we willing to give with them? Are we willing to back out and not do an appraisal? Are we willing to put a cap on the appraisal just to make your offer look better? And that's what we talked about before. The appraisers will. They're good. Don't get me wrong. They're good to have them there, but you might, if you really want that home, you may have to pay a little bit more to get it.
Yeah, like I said, that actually it's not always about the price, right? Like you said, if you're willing to give the family some time to find another house, because it's one of the things that we're coming up against is they're willing to sell and they want to move on, but they might need some additional time.
But I'm a believer in that. If you want a house and you want to be in a certain area and you're done looking at houses and you found the house, if you want to pay more, that's up to you. There's nothing wrong with that. But understand what, Alex? We're going to only lend on what?
We're going to lend on what the house appraises for.
Yep, the lower of the two. It's either the purchase price or the appraised value.
I've had this argument with Dan's business partner 1,000 times. That he says a house is worth what someone is willing to pay for it. It's simple economics. That is 100% correct. However, I can only finance what it's appraised on.
Right.
Better have some additional funds. All right, out on Sterling Heights, we got Phil out there. Good morning, Phil. Welcome to the show.
How you doing?
What's up, Phil?
Hey, I got a question on houses west of Jefferson and St. Clair Shores, kind of like what you guys were talking about as far as a house is worth whatever you're willing to pay. But there's a house on the water side of Jefferson that 3 years ago it was up for sale for like $350,000.
Okay.
And now it had jumped up to $550,000, still empty, and they dropped it down to like $529,000. And it seems like there's quite a few houses on Jefferson that, from December of last year till now have jumped tremendously. and kind of like artificial inflation.
I don't know if it's artificial or not. It's supply and demand is what comes into effect there. And if there's little supply and high demand, prices are going to rise up. And I ask these people the question all the time: if you're going to, how long are you going to live in that home? If you're going to live in that home for 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, it's a different way you handle that than if you're going to be there for the next 3 years. Okay? So the reason those homes have jumped up is because there's been more demand. And you got to find out, you need to get in touch with a realtor and find out if those homes that were purchased for that price appraised, or were they bringing money to the table because they wanted those homes.
Hey, Phil, there's nothing wrong with trying to take advantage of the market, and that's what we talk about every week on the show. They're just trying to take advantage of what they perceive to be a hot market. And if they get somebody to buy the house, if somebody loves that house and they get it, good for them. Just, you got to be careful.
Right, and it still needs to appraise to be able to get a loan.
Right. Sure. And you use that to your advantage. If you're the only one there in the offer, right? You use the appraisal. If maybe you're thinking they're going to go in, you're paying more than you should, but you get the deal done. The appraisal comes in low. You go to them and say, "Listen, we're paying what the appraisal said. We're using that to our advantage in the negotiations. We do it all the time."
Yeah, Danny, and there's no doubt that when we talk to real estate agents, the more information we can find out. Again, the listing agent, they're going to be honest. They're going to say, look, we've already had it sold at $500, but the appraisal came in at $400.
Right.
So now, do you have the money to make up the difference? And, of course, what's the motivation of the seller?
Correct.
Phil, make an offer. Get out there. Again, if they accept your offer, you can move forward again. Just by even getting your real estate agent, your professional people involved to call the listing agent and start gathering some information, I think you'll give yourself a better opportunity to save money on that one.
And if you're seeing multiple homes at that price and inflated, it's that way for a reason. And that means something there's like-kind properties that sold in the recent past.
Yeah, pull the comps.
Yeah,
pull the most recent comps.
Thanks for the call, Phil. We want to see if we can set you up with a mortgage. Thanks for the call again. We'll go with William out in New Haven. Good morning, William. You're live on the ticket. Go ahead, sir.
How are you guys doing today?
Good morning, William.
Good. I got kind of an easy situation. I've never purchased a home before. My wife and I moved out here from Arizona, and we got a land contract in New Haven. When we got the land contract, originally it was for $50,000. I got about 2.5 years on it. The expected buyout's like 32, I think, in 2.5 years. But I have some credit concerns, and I'm trying to get kind of that best road to get that resolved so I don't have any problems with it in the future.
What are your credit concerns?
I'm sorry?
What are your credit concerns?
My credit score personally is in the low 5s.
Why is it that low?
I was a stupid 19-year-old.
That's okay. That's honest.
I like the honesty.
I just tell what it is.
I think we're all stupid at 19.
No joke. I'm stupid at 35. Well, here's a scoop. We have some great software we can run your credit report through, and it'll tell us what you have to pay off or pay down and the impact it'll have on your credit scores. It kind of goes back to one of the recent callers that, it says, how early should I apply for a mortgage? And there's no time early enough because it's going to give me more time to fix your credit. If you're in the low 5s, that's going to be tough, to get you up to, to be able to finance that property. So you're married? You have a girlfriend or?
Yes.
Okay, so you're married?
I have my wife.
Okay, your wife. Does she have decent credit?
We were going to do it together, but we've decided to do it solely on mine because she had some student loans that had defaulted.
Yes, I mean, you might not be doing anything, to be honest with you. You might be paying on the land contract for a while. If she defaulted on student loans and you have credit in the low 5s, you have a long way to go.
Yeah.
How much time do we have before the land contract comes due?
A little over 2.5 years.
Okay.
So 2.5 years is we've actually got, time to work with. The first thing we got to do is, we got to run your credit and we got to see what we have to do to get that taken care of. And it's going to be a work in progress, man. We're going to have to work together. Sure. We're going to be best buddies, dude. We're going to talk
and the
for
debt
3 years.
itself isn't a large amount, to be quite honest with you. It's really not. It's just a bunch of small stuff.
I think, and just based on this conversation, I think the best thing to do, and again, I want to see the credit report before I really give you any solid advice, is I'd like to settle some of the collections that are out there. And then I'd like you to open a couple secured credit cards, just like, a gas card.
I just did that, actually.
Perfect, man. So you're making the right choices already. Let me call after the show. We'll run your credit and see what we can do. And, like I said, we've got 2.5 years before the contract comes due, and we'll get you taken care of.
Right, and the reason why I want to get such a large head start on is there's a large amount of equity in the home already.
Okay.
I think when we come down to it and the loan's $32,000, the home is worth well over $80,000.
Okay.
We got it from a family friend, so
perfect. Yeah, you're in good shape with the equity standpoint, but let me call you regarding the credit. We'll get you taken care of.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you.
Thanks, Wade.
All right. That's an interesting case there. I mean, it's really like home ownership is going to maybe get him and his wife's lives all together. And let me explain that a little bit more. He can get his credit built up. He's got these secured credit cards over the next 12 months with a little bit of help from us. We'll show him what it takes. Rebuilding credit, getting three lines of credit that you pay on time. And then, as Alex mentioned, maybe we'll settle those collection accounts. Now, his stuff's going to all be clean. Now he qualifies. Potentially he's got equity in his house. He could do a cash-out refinance, pay off the land contract, and pay off his wife's student loans. They're on their way to forever, ever.
Yeah, so
I
I like that, but that's a long way down the road, and that's why Alex has to put them on a plan so they can get eventually and succeed, right? So that's the plan. You have to put them on a plan so they can succeed to eventually end up where Harvey's talking about.
But, you know, the whole reason for a land contract is because you can't qualify. So the second you get in that land contract, you should be starting to work on your credit because you know there's a balloon payment coming down the line.
Or employment or whatever.
And that's
it is.
coming from the realtor. I like that. Good job,
It's
man.
not bad. All right.
Wow.
Hey, Jeff out there in South Line. Good morning, Jeff. You're live on the ticket. Go ahead, sir.
Morning, guys.
Hey.
Good morning. I got a question. I got a mortgage on my cottage that I know you're going to laugh at how it's probably like 7.5%. And the only reason I never refinanced it in the past is because I was always just to pay it off because there wasn't that much on it. I only owed like maybe 50, 55. And I always had a lot of money in the bank where I could just write the check anytime, and then I just never did. Then I wanted to buy a boat. Then I wanted to buy a truck. And that kind of just dragged down. And I realized, God, it's been years I've been pulling this thing along at 7.5%. And now with Obamacare, it's changed my medical practice. I'm just not real comfortable dumping the cash on it to pay it off right now. And I thought, well, can I refinance it? Or is that too small of an amount to refinance?
No, I mean, you can always refinance it, man. I mean, 7.5 is obviously, it's a pretty high rate. I mean, everything's good credit-wise.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a regular old deal. There's nothing wrong with that, man.
Right. Maybe we could shorten the term for you, go to a 10 or 15 year. There's a lot of things. But I want to hang out with you. He's got a cottage, a truck, a boat, and a lot of cash.
Hey, Jeff, we're up.
Yeah.
Oh, my boat's worth more than the cottage.
Okay. I'm coming out. We'll go on the boat.
Boats are cool. Hey, Jeff, sit
I don't
tight.
know where the cottage appraised at. It appraised at $99,000 probably 15 years ago, but then that was when the appraisals were overinflated and stuff.
Hang on.
All right. Hey, Jeff, sit tight, man. We got to up against
Hang on,
the
Jeff.
break
We'll be right
here.
back to you after the break.
It's 9:42, and we come back. All your calls.
Hi, welcome to Max and Irma's.
Yes, this perfect pear combo for $6.99. Can you recommend a soup?
Well, they're all delicious.
Yes, but which one goes with this top?
Oh, well, that's a zesty little number you're wearing, so I guess I'd say the tortilla soup.
Love it. How about a salad to go with these shoes?
Oh, definitely the wedge.
Pick your perfect pair. Soups, salads, and more. 40 combos starting at only $6.99. Every day till 5. Only at Max and Irma's.
Have you heard? Proactive Plus is faster and better than ever. Stay tuned for a 1,000,000 bottle giveaway, and you'll also receive free shipping. Do you have troubled skin? Acne? Well, we have great news. With Proactive Plus, your acne can heal, and you can help prevent new breakouts from happening. Don't miss this limited time offer. Give us a call at 800-388-4019 because we're going to let 1,000,000 people try Proactive Plus risk-free and get 2 free gifts and also receive free shipping when you call right now. You heard it. This offer won't last long. So call Proactive Plus now and you'll receive a 60-day risk-free trial of Proactive Plus, 2 free extras, and free shipping. Call 1-800-388-4019. This is our exclusive radio offer, never on TV. Get your risk-free 60-day trial of Proactive Plus with free shipping. That's right, free shipping. Don't wait. Call 1-800-388-4019. That's 1-800-388-4019.
My name is Julie. I have a roommate because it helps keep finances simple for me by having someone to share the bills. I really hate owing people money. I don't like being in debt. It's a big point of pride for me to be able to take care of myself and not owe anybody anything. I don't want much. And money should be a tool. I should be able to always feel in control. Money to me means freedom.
There should be an easier way to manage your money. That's the thinking behind American Express Serve, a full-service prepaid account that helps you handle your money simply and affordably. You can reload cash for free at over 27,000 locations and pay bills online.
all for $1 a month, and all backed by the 24/7 service of American Express. This is what membership is. This is what membership does.
Get started with an American Express Serve card at CVS Pharmacy or Walmart today. Terms and restrictions apply. Go to serve.com for more details.
If you're a man, please listen to me. I'm Dr. Kevin Hornsby, MD, author of the book, A Doctor's Guide to Erectile Dysfunction. If you suffer from ED or PE, the Men's Medical Clinic can help you now, regardless of your age, medical history, prostate problems, or diabetes. If you want to get and keep an erection for 45 minutes, an hour, 90 minutes, or longer, there's no surgery, just the newest available safe and effective medications custom blended just for you. You'll have a positive reaction to the medication on the first visit right in the doctor's office, and if you don't, there's no charge, guaranteed. If Viagra and Cialis have let you down, call now.
To get this free offer, call now, 248-430-6040. That's 248-430-6040. Call today, 248-430-6040. 248-430-6040. Call now, 248-430-6040.
The Battery, modern day fire, powering everything from remote control cars to the car in your garage. So when your car battery is reaching the end of the line, or you're wondering whether it is, stop by Advance Auto Parts. We'll test your old one for you, free of charge. And if you purchase a new Autocraft battery, we'll install it for free. Only if you'd like us to, of course. Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back to the garage.
Most vehicles, most locations. See store for details.
2014 Detroit Lions single game tickets are on sale now. Guarantee your chance now to see Calvin Johnson, Matthew Stafford, and Ndamukong Suh, Reggie Bush, and the 2014 Detroit Lions at Ford Field. Be there live to defend the dead for Monday Night Football versus the New York Giants. See the Green Bay Packers in September and Chicago Bears on Thanksgiving Day. For Lions single game tickets, visit DetroitLions.com.
Your teams, your life, your sports station.
97.1 The Ticket. Welcome back. We're in our last segment here, the Hardcore Mortgage Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Give us a call, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Also, our email, mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. And again, here in the studio, we always have open lines, 248-539-9797. There was a trade in baseball this week, too, that was sort of cool. But we'll let Pat Caputo coming up with Sports After Us and social commentary. He's got a lot to talk about. But first, we will go to some of our clients out there that are calling in, and we got Tony out there in Detroit. Hey, good morning, Tony. Welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey, Tony.
Morning,
Tone.
So I've been looking for something for like 5 years, and everything is either not what I want or something's wrong with it. So we decided that we're going to buy land, and we're just going to build a home. And I'm looking to buy land, once I buy the land and I do the initial improvements on the land, like clearing, adding a septic if it needs one, whatever. Obviously, when I go to get a construction loan, if they're still giving them or whatever, I'm going to have to use the land as collateral. So I'm trying to see if there is a current ratio between the assessed value and the appraised value. Because I know for years it's been all over the board. Well, so I don't want to overpay for land and then it only comes in. I don't want to pay $60,000 for land and it gets appraised at 30, which is the taxable assessed value, and then I can only
but that's not going to be. That's not the issue. The issue is that when you buy a vacant piece of property, that's not really what people are going to lend on. They're going to lend on the fact that you're going to build a permanent structure on it, but you're going to need a lot loan first, and then the value comes in building the permanent structure on it. So you got to decide whether what you want to pay for the land, and then move on from there. You can't.
Well,
it's not going to appraise for 60. What's that?
Like I have my max value that I want to spend, and I'm at the point where I can just buy it. Anything that's up to a $70,000 lot, I can just buy.
So you're gonna pay cash for the lot, right?
I'm gonna pay cash for the lot.
Good. So you need a construction loan from there. That's no big deal. Right.
I just want to know though, if I'm paying, let's say there's a piece of land that it's being sold for $50,000. The assessed value on that land is $28,000. I don't want to pay $50,000 for it, and then it only comes in at $28,000 when I go to
That doesn't work that way.
The assessed value, the assessed value is half the price. It's the taxable value, which if you multiply it generally by 2, that's what the value of the property is for tax purposes.
Tony, look, there's construction loans out there. I'm going to follow up with you after the show just to give you some great advice out there. What you're talking about is a way to obtain a construction loan years ago. You don't need to do that anymore. If you qualify and your new home is going to be $250, land included, you're going to be asked to put down X amount of dollars. Again, if your credit's strong and you've had a lot of credit, obviously in the past, you're going to be able to get the construction loan. It's not quite as difficult as you think. Tony, we'll follow up with you. It's a great call, though. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony.
All right, 248-539-9797. We have some open lines up here. Hey, did you check out this one, guys? National Association of Realtors. Current housing condition, job creation, population trends. They found out that some of the hottest markets, and we actually have one here in the state of Michigan. It's Grand Rapids, Michigan. Actually, the list had 10 of them on there. Some of the hottest markets for you millennials, Alex, and that would be between the ages of 20 and 34. Austin, Texas.
Which means I'm not a millennial, genius.
Are you over 30? You are 35?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
5 different kinds of tomatoes, Bob.
Yeah.
There are a lot of them.
I have a garden with 5 tomatoes.
There's Rome, Austin, Dallas. I'm going to read you guys the list. Austin, Texas, Dallas, Denver, Des Moines, Iowa, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Minneapolis, New Orleans, Utah, Ogden, Utah, Salt Lake City, and Seattle. Hey, we have some strong areas here in Southeast Michigan. Again, a lot of families years ago were talking about, and young people talking about headed out of town. This place is no good. That's all. They're all coming back. This is a great place to live. If you haven't checked it out recently, come on back. 248-539-9797 in Brandon, out in Weberville. Now, I don't even know where Weberville is.
Well, Weberville's on between here and Lansing. It's the best.
Oh, hey, Brandon, what's going on out in Weberville?
Oh, not too much.
What's up, my man?
I got a question for you guys. I'm looking to get into a house. I do have credit issues. I had a house in Arizona, and I lost it when the market fell apart.
How'd you lose it?
Everyone's coming back. I just told you.
I know.
Brandon, how'd you lose the house?
I ended up having to go through foreclosure on it.
You just misplaced it? Like when you lost it, or what happened?
I'm going to reach around and grab
my
him.
job.
Okay, got it. Okay. So you're back in Michigan now?
Yep. And I'm renting currently, but me and my family, I want to get into a house for them, have a permanent place for them to live. So
when was the foreclosure? How long ago?
Foreclosure was, I believe the release date on it was June 2011.
11 to 12 years. So you're 3 years out. I mean, you qualify for an FHA mortgage, assuming you've reestablished credit. Have you done that?
My credit is not reestablished. I still have collection things on there, so I'm only like a 530 right now.
Yeah, there's absolutely zero chance of you buying a house.
Yeah.
You got to get that fixed up.
It's one of those things, though, Brandon, like one of the previous callers, that, I'll work with you for a couple of years to get your credit straightened out. But, I mean, you got to understand, you have to look at it from an underwriting standpoint. Here's a guy, and you went through a crappy time. You lost your job, which sucks. And, you did. It's not your fault. You didn't, make a mistake there. But aside from that, I mean, then there's collections. Then there's late payments. I mean, it's going to be tough to convince an underwriter to lend, to lend this guy more money when he hasn't reestablished any credit and he really hasn't paid any bills on time consecutively.
I understand.
Let me call after the show. Let's run your credit, see what it looks like. Let's put a plan together. I'll work with you for a couple of years, and let's just get you back on track, man. It's a stepping process.
I understand. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to just move forward. So I know it's going to take time to get my credit back to where it needs to be. So I realize that.
No worries, Brandon. I'll call after the show.
All right, Brandon,
All right,
thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Again, 248-539-9797 or call Capital Mortgage all day long, all week long at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Again, if you had a difficult situation in the past, find out what you can do to get back into the housing market. Still got to have shelter over your head.
But that is a great call.
That they lose a house.
Well, yeah, I know. You got to be, it's a bad choice.
I melted down in the club championship last week, and I lost like 3 balls on 15 in the water.
You lost.
I lose golf balls. You don't lose a house.
The great thing about that call, Alex, is that he's going to put a plan in place, and we're going to help him make sure that, maybe a year from now, maybe 2 years from now, maybe 6 months from now, you can put him on a plan, and maybe we can get him requalified.
Well, what's scary is still you see people getting bad advice. Again, in his situation, the foreclosure, okay, we get it. Maybe a bankruptcy, too, would have really got him where he needed to be. Some people need those things. Again, they're frowned upon in society. No one wants to go down that road, but sometimes 2 steps backwards gets you where you need to be down the road. He's 3 years out of it, and he's still got those credit situations. You got to get more professional people involved in your situation. Get better advice, and you're going to come out smelling like a rose, or a lot better than in most situations. 248-539-9797. Gentlemen, a few other things happened. The economy was interesting. Again, the jobless claims were down a little bit. Mortgage rates ended up really not reacting. We talked about it in the past, a lot of turmoil across the globe. Geopolitical events are not really affecting mortgage rates. Mortgage-backed securities, they stopped buying them as much, and that hasn't affected the mortgage rates. So again, all of this is not going to last forever. So great times now. If you haven't refinanced your home, definitely take a look at it, consolidate your debt. And there's the music telling us it's been another Hardcore Mortgage Show.
I should never mention I dumped 3 in the water on 15. I'm taking a beating via text message now.
You didn't win that or anything.
It was a mental meltdown. I'm sorry. I get issues.
That's a shock.
Well, we want to thank Dan Dubinsky.
You think so?
Dan Dubinsky for coming in from Skyward Realty, downtown Royal Oak. Stop by on Washington and check him out if you want to find the property. Good for your Alex for your golf game. All right, for Harry Glanz.
81 with a 9. It's
Alex Nafusi, I'm Harvey Free. We got Pat Caputo coming up with sports. Keep it here.
The preceding was a paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Hi, Harry Glanz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, so what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. Look, if you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.